You're working hard, bringing in decent money, but at the end of the month, your account looks the same as it did 6 months ago. Meanwhile, you know people making similar income who seem to be building wealth effortlessly. What's the difference? It's not that they're smarter, it's not that they got lucky, it's that they're following a formula so simple it sounds almost boring. And that's exactly why it works. My name is Evan, and I help people understand how simple financial strategies can create extraordinary results. If you're tired of the traditional money advice that tells you to just save more and hope for the best, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if this information changes how you think about money. Here's why this matters. Most people think wealth building is complicated because that's what the financial industry wants you to believe. The more complex they make it sound, the more likely you are to pay someone else to handle it. But the fundamentals haven't changed in decades, and they're simple enough to explain to a teenager. The wealthy understand something most people miss entirely. It's not about how much flows into your account. It's about what happens to that money once it gets there. You can earn 6 figures and still be broke. Someone earning half that can build real wealth. The difference? A system. Let me show you the exact one. The 15-65-20 rule. 3 numbers. Each one serves a specific purpose. Think of it like a recipe. You wouldn't bake a cake by throwing random ingredients together and hoping for the best. Your money works the same way. These percentages tell every dollar where to go the moment it hits your account. No guessing, no hoping. Just a system that works whether you're making $30,000 or $300,000 a year. Let's break it down. 15%. Your future self-fund. This is the most important number in the entire system. 15% of every dollar you earn gets set aside before you touch anything else. Not for bills, not for fun. This money has one job. Work for you while you sleep. I know what you're thinking. 15% sounds impossible, but here's what changes everything. This 15% serves 2 purposes. First, it creates your financial safety net. Life throws curveballs. Car breaks down, medical bill hits, employer downsizes. Without a cushion, these situations create panic. You're reaching for credit cards, taking on debt that follows you for years. But when you have 15% working for you, these become manageable inconveniences. You handle it. Move on. Sleep better, knowing you're covered. Second purpose. This is where real wealth gets built. This money doesn't sit in savings earning nothing. It gets put to work generating more money. Compound interest becomes your best friend. Einstein supposedly called it the 8th wonder of the world. Whether he said it or not doesn't matter. The sentiment is correct. When your money earns returns and those returns earn their own returns, you create a snowball effect that transforms modest contributions into serious wealth over time. Let me show you how brutal the timing difference is. Sarah invests $10,000 at age 30, earns 6% annually. Conservative compared to historical returns. She never adds another penny. 20 years later, at 50, she has $32,000. James waits until 40 to start. He invests $2,000 every year for 10 years. Same 6% return. At 50, he's put in $20,000 total and has $28,000. Sarah invested half as much but ended up with more. Those extra 10 years made all the difference, even though she never added contributions. This is why the 15% rule is so powerful when you start early. Small amounts grow into substantial wealth when given time to compound, and the growth accelerates. Year 20 looks dramatically different than year 5. Where does this 15% go? Not all options are equal. The wealthy use special accounts the government designed to help you build wealth more efficiently. These come with tax advantages that significantly boost returns over time. If you work for an employer, they probably offer a retirement plan with matching contributions. This is free money. Instant 100% return before your money even gets invested. If your company matches up to 5% and you're only contributing 3%, you're leaving money on the table. Beyond employer plans, there are individual accounts with tax advantages. In the US, that's traditional and Roth IRAs. In the UK, you have ISAs. These let your investments grow without taxes eating away at them. The strategy? Max out tax advantaged accounts first, then move to regular investment accounts if you still have money to invest. It's like getting a discount on building wealth. Here's what the wealthy do with that money. They keep it boring. While everyone else chases hot stock tips and tries to time the market perfectly, successful investors put their money into simple, diversified funds that track the overall market. Index funds, passive funds, financial autopilot. Instead of picking individual winning companies, you're buying a tiny piece of hundreds or thousands of companies at once. You're betting on the overall growth of the economy, which historically has been a safe bet over long periods. The beauty? You don't need to become a financial expert. You don't need to spend weekends researching earnings reports, and these funds have incredibly low fees. More of your money works for you instead of disappearing into someone else's pocket. A fund charging 2% annually might not sound like much. Over 30 years, that difference costs you tens of thousands in lost growth. Consistency beats brilliance almost every time. The wealthy would rather earn steady returns year after year than swing for the fences and risk striking out. Not glamorous, but it works. 65%. Your fundamental expenses. This is where most people either succeed or fail. And it's trickier than you think because expenses have a sneaky way of expanding to fill whatever space you give them. You know how this works. You get a raise, suddenly your apartment feels too small. Your car looks outdated. That vacation you thought was extravagant becomes your new baseline. Before you know it, you're earning more but feeling just as financially stressed. Lifestyle inflation. Your expenses expand to consume whatever income you allow them to consume. The 65% cap is your defense against this. By setting a firm limit on living expenses, you create boundaries that protect your ability to save and invest. It forces conscious choices instead of letting spending drift upward whenever you have extra money. Keeping fundamental expenses to 65% isn't always easy, especially in expensive cities where rent alone might eat up 40 to 50%. But constraints force creativity. Maybe that means a roommate to split housing costs, maybe a longer commute for lower rent, maybe a reliable used car instead of financing something new. These aren't fun decisions, but they create space for wealth building. What qualifies as fundamental? Housing, transportation, food, utilities. True necessities that keep life functioning. Streaming services, gym memberships, dining out, those fall into a different category. Housing typically represents the largest chunk. But there's a difference between having a place to live and having the perfect place to live. The wealthy often live below their means here, at least early on, because an extra few hundred per month in housing translates to tens of thousands in lost investment growth over time. Transportation is where you can make smart choices. Average car payment in America is over $700 a month. Insane. You're paying $700 monthly for something losing value the moment you drive it off the lot. A reliable used vehicle might cost $300. That $400 difference invested at reasonable returns, over $60,000 in 10 years. Suddenly, that shiny new car doesn't look like a great deal. Food spans everything from necessities to entertainment. You need to eat. You don't need $15 avocado toast or take out 5 nights a week. The wealthy cook at home more. Treat restaurant meals as occasional treats. The goal isn't living like a monk, it's being intentional so you create room for fun while still building wealth. 20%, permission to enjoy life. This might be the most important part. Money set aside specifically for entertainment, hobbies, spontaneous purchases, whatever brings you joy. You might wonder why wealthy people budget for fun when they could invest every dollar. Psychology and sustainability. People who try to save every spare penny burn out and abandon their plans entirely, like an impossibly strict diet. Eventually, you crack and binge on everything you denied yourself. The 20% prevents this cycle. It gives you permission to spend guilt-free. When you know 20% is designated for fun, you can make purchases without feeling like you're derailing long-term goals. This matters because building wealth is a marathon. You need a system you can stick with for decades, not just months when motivation is high. A sustainable plan you actually follow beats a perfect plan you abandon after 6 months. Studies back this up. People who give themselves spending flexibility are significantly more likely to stick with savings goals long term. Counterintuitive but true. Allowing yourself to spend actually helps you save. This 20% covers your morning coffee ritual, occasional shopping, vacations without stealing from retirement. The key word is intentional. You're not accidentally overspending, then feeling guilty. You're deliberately allocating for enjoyment because life is meant to be lived, not endured while waiting for some magical future moment when you'll have enough to be happy. Here's where people mess up. They skip this entirely and try to save every dollar. Burnout and resentment. Or they treat every purchase as falling under 20%. Defeats the purpose. The wealthy are disciplined about this boundary. When 20% is gone for the month, it's gone. No borrowing from next month. Definitely not dipping into the 15% working for your future. Let's make this concrete with 2 people, both 30 years old, both making $70,000 a year. Meet Poor Peter and Rich Richard. Poor Peter doesn't follow any system. He saves when he remembers, maybe 5% some months, nothing other months. His essentials creep up to 85% of income because he never set boundaries. The rest? Whatever's left over gets spent on random stuff. No plan. He's got maybe 15,000 saved by 40. Still stressed about money, still living paycheck to paycheck despite decent income. Rich Richard follows 15-65-20 from day one. 15% goes straight to investments. That's $10,500 per year. Over 10 years with 6% returns, he's got $140,000 invested. His essentials stay locked at 65%, $45,500 annually. He's deliberate about housing, drives a used car, cooks at home most nights. His 20% fund money is $14,000 a year. He takes vacations, goes out with friends, enjoys life, but within boundaries. By 40, Rich Richard has real wealth building, options, security. Poor Peter is still stressed and broke despite making the same money for the same 10 years. The difference wasn't income, wasn't luck, was a system. 3 numbers, 15-65-20. That's it. Now, here's the part nobody wants to hear. If you're currently spending 90% just to survive this system, might feel impossible. But financial transformation doesn't happen overnight. The wealthy didn't make perfect decisions from day one. They made slightly better decisions consistently over time. If you can't do 15% right now, start with 5. If 65 for essentials seems impossible, aim for 75 and work down. The numbers matter less than developing the habit of living within intentional boundaries. Once you prove you can stick to whatever percentages you choose, you can adjust gradually. And here's what's beautiful. This grows with your income. When you get a raise, the dollar amounts increase, but percentages stay the same. This prevents lifestyle inflation from eating your additional income while still letting you enjoy some benefits of earning more. Here's the close. The 15-65-20 rule isn't some revolutionary secret only billionaires know. It's basic math wrapped in discipline, which apparently makes it rarer than a unicorn. Start with whatever percentages you can manage. Be consistent. Watch compound interest do what it does best. Pick one move today. Set up auto transfer for 5% to savings. Track your spending this week to see where you're actually at. Calculate what 15-65-20 looks like for your income. One move. Your future self will either thank you or wonder why you waited so long to get started.